Hello, welcome back to another project. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope it's entertaining and I hope you maybe find something useful out of the next however many minutes this video is supposed to be. So my husband and I are currently in the middle of moving and I'm starting a new job in like a week. So I'm hoping to get this project done pretty quick so that I can check it off of my to-do list and put it with the rest of my outfits for my husband and I's trip in September to Disney World. Now my husband and I are really into vintage, specifically more like 50s. I like the 60s, he likes more the 40s. So we typically meet right in the middle for 50s. I wanted to Disneybound as Belle from Beauty and the Beast and for him to Disneybound as Adam. Granted, I'm not wanting him to do the full fur and the horns and the stuff. And because it's a Disneybound, we don't have to be exact with our costumes. So in that spirit, I am not doing a one-to-one costume make or replica. This is gonna be more themed around the characters, if that makes sense. So my husband's probably gonna wear like blue jeans and a white shirt and maybe like a little, I don't know, capelet or something. I'm not sure what we're gonna do for him yet. Probably something along the lines of like loose fitting shirt and jeans. Maybe I'll put a little arm wrap around him to kind of make sense of what we're wearing. But my idea is that I'm going to make the green dress that she wears when he shows her the library. This is actually a whole pattern I bought on Etsy like a year ago when I was just aimlessly looking through Etsy for patterns I totally didn't need, but it looks mostly like this. This is a really interesting pattern so far from what I've seen because all of her instructions have photos to go with it. So whenever you download and print it, it actually shows you step by step, which is super cool. So this video is gonna be not a tutorial. It's gonna be more of a review, but also I'm making it my own and I'm not making this out of traditional fabric because it's me, and no. Now that being said, I'm using some unconventional fabric and recycling a bit, mostly because I like doing that. Also because I don't want to go buy more fabric since we are moving, because that means I'd have to leave and get it and come back, and if I get too much then it has to be stuck into a container somewhere. I just don't want to do it. And luckily I have the exact fabric that I want. So I have a ton of these cloth napkins that were from my mother's stash of cloth napkins for when I guess the Queen came over, I'm not sure. These are so beautiful, and the moment I saw them I immediately thought Belle, because it's just that perfect light, kind of minty, kind of sagey green. It was reading very yellow because of one of my lights, but it's very light, which I'm enjoying. And the cool thing is, it's actually like more of a, I forget what it's called, damask? I guess it's a damask, I'm not sure. But it's got flowers, like roses, already kind of in it, which of course is very Belle. I'm loving the scalloping on this edge. There's so many of these napkins. I'm hoping to get the sleeves and at least the skirt out of it. I don't know, it's gonna be an adventure. At the very least, I can for sure get the skirt out of it, I think. If not, I can do like cute panels or something like that, but I have a lot of them. I also found some just light, light green, pretty much the same shade satin. This is just standard satin. It's matte, so it's not shiny, which is wonderful. There's no glitter on it, so I can use that for lining, or if I run out of fabric in a specific area, I can patch and I can work with it. Or if I need to, I can just make a skirt out of just the green, and then I can use the napkins for like a belt or trim or something, I don't know. Anyway, I have that for the sleeves and for the skirt. While I was looking through things I need to fix and repair, which will probably be the next video, so that I, again, can go through my stuff, purge, clear out, get rid of things, and move on, I actually found this, which is a J. Crew top. It's silk, beautiful. I guess it looks like it's two tones actually, now that I'm looking at it on screen. Like this is a more yellow based green, this is definitely a more blue green. Either way, I don't know about you, but that looks like a bodice because it's already a top. I'm probably gonna keep the buttons. It's super cute, but that is definitely more than enough fabric for me to do the bodice out of. And then I don't have to attempt to fix this how I was gonna have to fix it. So, haha, yay. 2 birds, 1 stone. And it clears out a little bit of stuff out of the giant bag of repairs and fix-its that I have to go through, which will probably be filmed later this week and posted at the end of the month so that you guys get some content. I can kind of explain what I'm working on. And anyway, so we are gonna do this dress. Yeah, if y'all are okay with that, watch on. If not, find something else to watch. So, cool thing so far, there's not that many pieces. However, it seems a bit much, if that makes sense. We have the skirt, which you cut one on a fold and then 2 separately, which is cool. That's actually a really nice feature. And I wish more patterns did this, which basically means you have 3 panels, but they're all gonna be basically quarters of this. The front will be smooth because it is 1 piece that's cut on a fold, and the 2 in the back, you have your side seams and you have your 1 big seam up the center so that, you know, you can actually put a zipper in the back. So that's really nice. I enjoy that. There is a lining piece, which is just a little bit shorter. Don't know if we're gonna use that. Probably will, just because I don't necessarily want to walk around without a slip, and I like the idea of having that just in case wind and things and whatever, so I like that idea. The bodice is only 3 pieces, which is interesting. We have the, let's see, we have the front, side front, and then this is the back. To me, that looks like they took what should be 2 pieces with that seam that's usually like right in here with a bodice and just smashed them together. But I don't hate that. So far, not so scary. The only thing that is scaring me a little, oh God, is the sleeve. The sleeve is huge. That's a bit much, not gonna lie. And the sleeve is just a bit much. And as much as I love muchness, I guess that's the right word, I don't think we're gonna do this sleeve. It's beautiful, but I'm thinking about how I wanted to use the napkins, and it's not the pattern person's fault. They're not having to try to create my vision, but that's just not quite enough. So I'm gonna pull another pattern that has maybe a smaller sleeve to get this to work, because even if I tried to do this like at a corner or something so I could get a little bit more length and then the little point would be cute at the end of the sleeve, it's still not enough fabric. Now I could recut the sleeve, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna go quickly rummage through my patterns and see if I have one that's a little bit smaller. I'll be right back. All right, folks, we have a winner. This is a butterick pattern that I think I've used on this channel. If not, I probably should. I love this pattern. I've used it several times. I've made several gowns out of it. I love it. But this is actually a pattern by Gertie, which I find very funny because I love Gertie stuff anyway. I actually made a dress from her Jiffy dresses, or Jiffy Sews dresses. I don't remember the name of it. I actually made a dress from her actual book recently. So that's right in theme, and she's Miss Vintage, and I'm obsessed with her anyway. So here's the pattern piece. Here's the pattern piece. I know she looks big. Don't come for me. Don't freak out, okay? Here's why. Because this is gathered at the top, I'm going to simply take this in one spot here in the middle, and I'm just going to bring it in a couple inches. I had paper clips. I don't know where they went. Hang on. All I'm gonna do is paper clip this up here at the top because I don't need to redraft this. I don't think. I really don't know. But I'm gonna leave that. So if we take this and put this, I'm thinking diagonally across this piece so I can get as much of the fabric as possible. Oh yes. That is just enough fabric. And the nice thing is, since it's gathered, if I need to, again, schmooze it around a little bit, I can. It'll be a shorter, more small puff sleeve. And now, sadly, we'll need an armband at the bottom. Tragic, I know. Luckily, there's a whole bunch of scallop edging down here that's obviously not being used that I'm gonna use for the sleeve. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get 2 out of 1 napkin, however, so we're just gonna go with it. And luckily, I think I have enough to use 1 napkin per piece. Love this. So all I need to do now is cut everything out. We will see how this goes. Bear with me while I cut everything out real quick. In a strange turn of events, one good thing, one bad thing. I was able to get both sleeves out of 1 napkin, which was amazing because then all I had to do was fold it on a diagonal and cut it and done. Cool. Sleeve, lining, done. And then I realized something very wrong. None of these napkins were the same size. Not a single one of them. I went through like 4 or 5, I started laying them all out, and I realized none of these are the same dimensions at all. And most of them weren't perfect squares either, which was maddening in and of itself. So whoever designed and manufactured these, please don't ever do this again. Terrible. So I went ahead and took 6 of them, 6 of the napkins, layered them on top of each other, and then I realized I wasn't gonna have enough for the proper skirt, the longer skirt. So we're just gonna make the shorter one that's supposed to be the lining. Yeah, we're just gonna make that. So instead of doing a front panel on a fold and then having 2 in the back that are gonna be, you know, side seam, back seam with the zipper in the back, I cut 6 panels instead, which I didn't need to do. I could have just cut the 4 like I needed to, but I wanted to not have to have these in my closet anymore. So we are doing 6 panels. I actually have 1 more napkin that I could go ahead and cut so that I can have 1 front piece that's more smooth, but with the amount of fabric I am now going to have in this skirt, I can't do this the way the pattern wanted me to, where you just sew the sides and the back and whatever. Now I have to sew all these panels together and gather them to stitch to the bodice. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this for mistakes, maybe for the bow that she wears in the back. That being said, I do have quite a lot extra. And I bet you anything I can get, at the very minimum, I can get some really cute like little ties. I think I could get a bow out of this pretty easily. I keep staring at this and I'm like, ooh, mouse ears. So that's another thing I could make. I could just use this as a bandana. And are you seeing how this isn't, I just folded that. Anyway, I could use it as like a little bandana situation, but I feel like it's giving Von Trapp family, so we're not gonna do that. Either way, I have 1 extra. I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep this one because there's something in the universe, something telling me keep 1 by itself for whatever reason. I don't know. We're gonna go with it. We're not gonna question it. So the plan now is to figure out the bodice. So the skirt is done. I'm gonna have so much skirt, I don't think I want to do the lining, because the lining with the standard straight skirt was gonna be more than enough fabric. Now that I have basically double the amount of panels, we're just not gonna do the lining, not in the skirt. Plus, you know me, I hate doing lining. So that part is mostly done. Now to tackle this bodice, this shirt, because I already know this is going to be an adventure. We're gonna say an adventure and try to be positive. Funny enough, this actually has buttons in the front and a side zipper. I kid you not. Obviously I'm undoing buttons here, which they just did 2 vertical, and then I get to like the center and it's a horizontal one to go on top of that seam. That's actually really interesting. I don't know. Yeah, why? So random. Now I don't know if I'm going to use the buttons with the buttonholes. We'll have to see how the pieces fit on the bodice itself so far. But for certain, this is coming out. This is dumb. I don't know why they put a zipper in there. That was definitely a choice. If it already buttons, why go ahead and add a zipper to it? I don't understand. It's okay. We're about to take it apart. It doesn't matter. It's not going to exist much longer anyway. This is a little scary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew right sides together this bodice piece here at the top and at the back. That way nothing moves on me while I am sewing this. And then I'm going to go ahead and, because that side is open, I'm going to close up the outside. And then that way when I turn it right side out, everything should work out properly. Now, I'm having to do this in a very weird order. So if you decide to make this pattern, understand that this is not, I feel like Barbosa. Like this pattern has become guidelines more than actual rules and anything. So it's more like, okay, this is how this sleeve was supposed to be. This is the sleeve I'm making. How did they roughly do this? Cool. I'll kind of do that. So apologies. Maybe I will redo this another time in maybe the pink dress or something. But for this dress, we're just going fully off course. Ta-da! And it's finished. Granted, I do have a couple things. Ooh, okay. This project has been horrendous. So in my last video, I did kind of joke that, oh, this was so easy. I bet you my next one will be hard. I don't know what wood I knocked on, but it did not work because this has been a pain. Class A pain. So here's my notes on it. Number one problem, I did not really use the pattern I wanted to use, and that's mostly my fault. I fell in love with this fabric. I fell in love with the idea of using an old shirt that I'm trying to work with, and I definitely pay the price for it because it has been a nightmare every step of the way. So I eventually want to come back and revisit this pattern and attempt to make it how it's supposed to be made, I guess. That way I get to actually use it properly. Second thing, I did not prep for this in advance enough. I've done so many small fitting pieces, things, and like adjusting this, sewing this section. Okay, that doesn't work. I've done so much to this top specifically to make it fit because I didn't try the shirt on to see if it fit and what its problems would be. If I were starting over again, I probably would have taken the entire shirt completely apart and cut out the pieces for that pattern and then just sew them together from there. But I wanted to save this button situation because I thought it would be super cute. And now I'm just like, I'm growling at it. These sleeves are a monster. I'm glad I put this little piece in here because it's very, very cute. It adds a little bit of that, that scalloping that I fell in love with this pattern. I love that the little scalloping just adds to the kind of femininity of it, and it was one of my favorite parts of these napkins anyway. For a piece that has taken me, I would approximate about 8 hours total worth of work with fitting and cutting and trying to fix it and trying to adjust it here and there, it's really not that bad. Am I going to wear this to Disney? Yeah, probably. Am I going to have to adjust and fix it before we go? Oh, yes. Yes, I will. Number one thing is these sleeves need like a little strap underneath or something so that I can snap it to the bra strap so that I'm not having to pull them up all the time, all day, because I'm already doing that and it's irritating. I didn't add pockets. I'm going to have a backpack with me. I'm not worried about that. I'm also going to wear shorts underneath this, so the length is still good. Overall, final thoughts. It's doing the job I wanted it to. It's definitely giving Belle. It's reading Belle. Especially when I add the bag I'm going to add, it will be very clearly Belle. Do I feel like I need to revisit this in like a month to make sure that it fits me and everything is, doing what I need it to? Yes. Am I going to do it right now? No. I do have a couple things I'll need to add to it anyway, including those little, strap holders. My bra strap isn't like here. My sleeve is there because, not in Disney. And I know for a fact I'm going to have to determine which brassiere I'm going to wear with this because this one has padding in it to push my boobs up a little bit more. I don't think, given the weather that's typical for Florida, if that's a good idea. So I might have to redo this anyway. However, it's still stinking cute. I will say this is not going to be something I put in my closet for every day. Just because it feels ridiculous. The sleeves are driving me nuts too. Like, I can't tell you how much I'm wearing them right now, and I'm like, I'm shrugging like this, pulling, because the sleeves don't feel like there's enough, weight on them. It just doesn't feel secure, and it's irritating me. So if I add those, at the very least, it will feel like it's attached to something that is very secure, because and then I'm not having to move that and then move the sleeve and then, adjusting here and there and everything else. And honestly, it'll be fine. I think it needs a good pressing. I need to add those little things to it. And then we'll see what size I am in the next month or so and double check that everything fits properly. Yeah, I didn't hate this. I didn't love it though. I do love how it looks though. It's very cute. It's very, very cute. Wearing it on me though, I don't know. I think I'm hating it at the moment solely because I kept having to mess with it and nothing was working how I wanted it to. So it was just frustrating every single step of the way, and it felt like everything was fighting me. So I didn't enjoy that. I do have extra fabric from this if I need to redo a panel or adjust something if I need to. I have a whole other, napkin of this, and then I have quite a bit of the extra if I need to fix something. but right now as I'm wearing it, it is not feeling comfortable, mostly because of the sleeves. The sleeves are starting to drive me up the wall. It's wanting to do more of a Babette kind of sleeve and less of a Belle sleeve. So once I think once I add that, it will be fine. But for now, this project is done. As you can see, I have put away most of my artillery and I can't really get to anything at the moment. So we're gonna pack this away with the rest of my projects, and I'm going to continue packing everything up. I start my new work job tomorrow, so that will be fun. And I'm gonna get through some projects. My next video is probably gonna come out in a couple weeks. Please be patient, guys. This moving thing is gonna drive us absolutely up the wall, and I'm trying my hardest to like maintain being on YouTube and doing this. All of my plans for the next month have changed, so we will see. We will see what I get to. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want to be alerted when I have my next videos out, including my Disney vlog, hopefully, that will be coming out in September, please click the subscribe button and hit the bell. That way you can be alerted whenever those come out, because I'm having a hard time being consistent and it's killing me. If you want to go on Instagram and TikTok and whatever and see the like 10 things I post, go ahead. If not, you're not going to hurt my feelings, but do what you can. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever you're currently dealing with, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Okay. I don't know if the two of you are going to be accepted in as Disney as this is. Maybe I should add some lacing.